The President of the United States has to be the most influential man in the entire world. Now, however, when you become president, it's very difficult to maintain that influence and maintain a good influence. Even though you are put in a position to influence, not every president chooses to influence the general public or other countries or other politicians. Now, Ronald Reagan, he was the 40th president of the United States, and at the time he was considered the toughest Cold War president out of the presidents before him to be part during the Cold War. He had an insane amount of influence during the Cold War. He had an assassination attempt due to how influential he was. People did not want him to be alive because people did not feel that his direction was the right way. But not everyone agrees with every single politician. But how he handled the Cold War and the economy of our country is what makes me feel like he was such an influential figure for a president. In his early life, he was an actor and then a governor. Actors have an insane amount of influence over people. Hollywood today sways so much of who we are as people. Everyone is so engulfed in it. So before he was president, it set the stage. Being an actor set the stage for him to become a very, very personable man and very good with the people. He later would become governor of California, which is where he began his political experience. He started out learning how to influence and govern, a relatively large state, and then later on he would become president of the United States. As for the Cold War, he brought it to a very peaceful resolution. It was peacefully brought out because he didn't use direct force, and that to me is extremely incredible. The fact that his influence was so high and his knowledge was so grand that he was able to use other military tactics that were non-violent or extremely deep cover operations to bring the Cold War to a very peaceful resolution. When it came to how he managed the economy, he's so influential that we have a term coined after him called Reaganomics. How many presidents have a whole form of economic structure based off of their name? And it had relatively really good success when he was president. Building up everything with his being an actor, his presidency, he's left a very lasting legacy on our country. He was a man who valued peace and prosperity, and that's what is going to be remembered most from him. America is very big on peace and prosperity, and he took it upon himself from a peace standpoint to use the CIA instead of throwing just countless bodies in the front lines of war. And for prosperity, he valued the economic success and the economy of our country. He really felt that we needed to be a prosperous country and did everything he could to overall help with that. And he's impacted, everyone today. Presidents can stimulate the economy, in their time, and he did a phenomenal job in that. His impact at the time was grand, prevailing peace for many, many years. And today we're going to be presenting the award for the most influential president to ever set the stage. And for this individual to receive the award, they have to show great overall prowess and just respect during their term. Obviously, they need to be an influential figure, but it's a lot more than that. It's how they impacted their people at the time, how they impacted the people during their presidency, and the legacy they left when they ended up ultimately leaving for term. And he ultimately achieves this because his impact through bringing peace through the Cold War and stimulating so much growth in the U.S. economy. No other president has been able to establish simultaneous peace and prosperity. So overall, from becoming governor, from being an actor to becoming governor to becoming the president, are what makes this man just so utterly influential. And his influence is still talked about today and greatly respected. He's still, his Reaganomics is still talked on. The peace he brought is still papers are still being wrote on to that. So overall, I would like to present the award of most influential president to Ronald Reagan.